Well, the policeman's trying to put the password or something. Our light is up there. They won't let us.
You guys are in this building, or?
They won't let you let. They won't let us?
They're not going to let anybody back in. Do you need some money or something?
No, I'm going to go back over to Lisa's work tonight, so I'm going to go over and get the keys.
You all right?
You all right?
Yeah, we heard that you were stuck in a room.
In Beverly. Oh my gosh, that's been cold a little bit from both.
Not really cold.
So, do you want to share doing anything or ride home or something?
We're going to go 5 minutes away.
Okay.
Her East Bay.
Oh, you're in East Bay for work? All right. Okay. That's my statistics. I wouldn't leave without it. I had to go back for it. Kathy, take care.
Get it for you.
Oh, no, I'm really not. I'm not cold. I'm just
scared.
I'm fine.
I was fine until we got here.
We can go. They basically have to talk to anybody. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Frank George. Exactly what they have. Yeah.
Well, I can carry it.
That bullshit. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
time, we have identified that there are 7 clues, the suspect involved in this case, for a total count of 9 people have expired today in this incident.
Chief, the suspect.
We're not going to release any names as of this time.
Motive.
Motivation is not known at this time. It's going to take some time to develop. What we're involved in now is the process of going floor by floor to ensure that there is no other suspects, trying to identify anybody who may have seen or heard something, making sure that everything is secure, that nobody is subject to any potential risk, and bringing them out of the building. And we have a limited use of elevators. We're not using the stairwells. This is going to be a long time. It's going to take the rest of the evening to clear everybody out of the building. Many people have been able to call their family and friends. Some people perhaps have not been in a place where they can use the phone. So that is why there is a delay on some people notifying family or friends.
Chief Ray, can you describe the crime scene? Can you describe the crime scene as you've seen it this afternoon?
There's multiple crime scenes. We're talking 4 different floors of the building, 1 stairway, office, conference room. So there's multiple hallways and offices in which bodies are located and shots were fired.
Does it appear that he started in one place and can you tell his chronology?
We don't have all of his chronology yet. He came up in the elevator and started shooting off the elevator and went from floor to floor. We don't know exactly which floor he started on.
Can you tell us what floor he came on?
No, we don't know.
Tell us more about him. Was he a disgruntled employee? Was he a former employee of the building? Or was he in there doing business with him?
We don't know what his relationship was with anybody in the building. We don't know that he was a former employee. We have heard that, but we have not been able to confirm that.
Chief, did he pick his victims or was he shooting randomly?
There is no way to tell. What's going to come out on that is interviewing all of the people who have been injured and survived and other people that may have seen him going through the building.
Was he a San Franciscan or from the Bay Area? Location?
He has a California driver's license. Yes, there was paperwork on his person.
Did he say anything as he was shooting?
I'm not going to reveal any of the information. We have paperwork.
Were they suicide?
I'm sorry?
Did any of the witnesses know who was?
I don't know that. The interviews are being conducted right now in other floors, in secure rooms. I don't have any of that interview information. I don't know the count on that. I know that there are several.
The building,
We were told that he was given a deposition and he left and came back with weapons. Is that true or false?
I haven't heard that at all. All I know is, as I was told, he was coming up in the elevator, he came off the elevator, and started firing.
And how did he die? How did he firing?
He died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Did he die in the stairwell?
shooting?
He died in the stairwell.
so he came out off the elevator on the 34th floor?
I don't know which floor he came off.
Did he say anything as he was firing?
Nobody has told me that he was talking or discussing anything, or that he called anybody by name. I haven't heard any of that.
How was he armed? The building tomorrow?
How many guns did he have?
He was armed with 3 semi-automatic pistols, 2 9mm and 1 45 automatic.
Chief, is the building secure now? The possibility of a second gunman?
As I said earlier, we are down to about the 30th floor, and we're going floor to floor securing it. The floors from the lobby up to the 9th floor have been secured, so we're working between 30 and 10. Going floor by floor, going into each and every office, every closet, every room, bringing the people out on the elevators. We have limited access in terms of the amount of elevators that we're wanting to use at this time, and bringing the people down, escorting them out, asking them if they have seen or heard anything.
What floor did he kill himself on?
Pardon?
Is everyone a potential suspect?
No.
What happened to the rumor that there was actually a second person in there at one point during this afternoon?
We're unable to determine where that information came from. We
On
know
pick
that phone
6,
calls
they
came
said that he
out and
was
said
talking
that
to
there was-
somebody on a two-way radio.
Pardon?
I heard on pick 6 that he was seen talking to somebody on a two-way radio.
We have not found any communication device either on the floor or near the suspect.
On which floors did all of this take place?
Up in the low 30s.
From what?
Safety of our citizens. Those emissions that get in the air, we're trying to curtail it as much as possible. We have our staff working with the company that's involved, and we're telling the citizens to stay off the street until we get it under control. That's all we can do. It's an emergency, and we're doing everything we can to protect That's all we can do is protect the citizens of our city, and hopefully it won't go into other cities as well, because these things change with the wind.
Richmond Mayor George Williamson, thank you for joining us, and we'll keep you posted in terms of what's going on with this vapor cloud that is over North Richmond at this hour.
It is July 26, 1993, the Monday. Good morning from CBS. I'm Al Hart.
I'm Lois Melconian.
And Terry Conway at the editor's desk. CBS News is next, and then more from Richmond. Where the news watch has never stopped for 25 years. 3 CBS. News Radio 74. All news. All day, all night.
CBS. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose.
We'll move on to the free, see where the freeway is. 10 o'clock. CBS News, this is Mitchell Crowd. A large cloud of sulfuric acid fumes that forced the evacuation of an industrial area. All of a sudden, bam, you're in it. It's very thick, very dense here. It is periodic now, the escape of this substance from the rail car. A few minutes ago, it looked like it was going to take care of itself, but now as I look over my shoulder, here's another cloud billowing up from that rail car. Officials say dozens of people have gone to area hospitals for treatment of respiratory problems. Police and thousands of civilians who were warned ahead of time fled their villages as Israel unleashed an artillery barrage. And Lebanese security sources say 19 civilians and guerrillas were killed along with 2 Israeli soldiers. Secretary of State Warren Christopher is due to visit the Middle East later this week.
I'm as determined as ever before to assist the parties in making progress in the peace process, because the only antidote, the only real answer to this kind of violence is to make progress in the peace process and bring to that region the kind of tranquility and peace that so long has been missing.
Christopher accused the Iranian backed Hezbollah of trying to sabotage Arab-Israeli peace talks by firing rockets on villages in northern Israel. President Clinton is heading for Chicago in a conference on the future of the American workplace. Richard Krieg directs the Roosevelt University Institute that's hosting the meeting.
We're really going to have representation from the top corporations that are doing this kind of thing. Companies that have made a tremendous commitment to employee teams and involving their workers in basic decision-making of the corporations.
In Washington, Senate Democratic leader
I only know of one patient who's been brought into the ambulance, and that was very early on. The rest are coming in on her. And that's a real ballpark, to tell you the truth. I haven't counted. Nobody's been admitted. There's still a lot of people in the emergency department. Nobody's been admitted to the hospital. Well, it hasn't happened yet. The emergency department staff makes that decision, and in conjunction with the emergency medical system of the county. We use. Part of the problem is the phone lines are blacked out, and we're having trouble getting out to people ourselves. Yes, the good news is that a lot of our physicians are right across the street here and can come over, and a lot of our nurses live right in the area. So, yeah.
But I don't know if you can get in through that way to them. There's 2 on the wall right over here.
You guys waiting to get in? How long you guys been waiting? 15 minutes. 15 minutes? Nobody's been out here to see you yet?
already signed up.
Oh, you already signed up?
Hi, you must be one of the victims of this talk.
Can we go in here?
You have to go in through the emergency.
Oh, okay. Going to emergency. Are you a victim?
Yeah.
Oh, how long have you been waiting out now?
About fucking 45 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So fucking long over there. I'm just like, just go home and come back.
All right. So I'm trying to see how many, they just...
Man, they're not even seeing us, man. They're not even seeing us. They're just... In 45 minutes, I'm like, And I mean, and then I'm hearing somebody came up here and told me they didn't start announcing that. They didn't start warning people for what, a good hour, 2 hours afterwards, you know? I'm like, damn, you know?
All right, I'm gonna see how many other people been waiting out here for.
And they don't have anything still blocked off, because I had went through there, because I came home from work, and then I went back through there to see a partner, and I was at his house, and I'm like, wait a minute, how come they didn't block this area off first? They're gonna block way over here first, and they still gonna let us drive through. I'm like, okay.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Good luck with getting in there.
Well, that was a case that came in very early, and I understand it was a person who lived very close to the incident, and it was felt at that time that the exposure to his skin was sufficient to require a wash down.
Excuse me.
Which means we have a facility set up.
Lieutenant Freeman, we are gearing up to take those being triaged to
Lo que hizo este problema.
Have you spoken to a nurse? Okay, that's what you need.
How long y'all been waiting out here?
Too long. Time to get in there, man. Shoot, we gonna die in here. Sitting around here. Shoot.
That's what I figured.
Too long.
They want to keep us waiting. They don't want to get those parts. So when we back to
You need to sign in. You need to go to the end of the line, please.
I already signed in.
Right, you have to go to the end of the line. These people are waiting.
I already signed in.
Okay, then you need to go have a seat, please. Thank you.
question. You know how they call them? How are they calling it?
They're going in order. That's like 3 or 4 page list prior to this. Yeah, prior to this.
Boy came in.
Okay, so you roll up there. Find out. We need to clear this way. Can you go to the left here? Thank you. We need to keep this clear.
Need to sign in?
The line is right around the corner. There's 2 lines. One coming this way, one going the other way.
That one long waiting against that.
You need to sign in.
Give us some more. Some more. Excuse me. You move. Please stand back. Everybody move back. Move back. Come on.
Please clear out the way.
Come back.
We may need another drink.
You can't download
Okay. back outside the other door coming through there.
They told me to come back.
They call me.
These are people who are coming in who are exhausted, who are feeling the effects, who are having difficulty breathing, and
excuse me,
who after waiting here for some time basically collapsed. There seems to be a lot of priorities here.
No, sir.
Like this largely receiving immediate attention to see it now at the top. There's two priorities. But if you look around to the right and to the left, you see there are hundreds. Certainly well over 150 people who are here now waiting, who are wheezing and coughing and trying to get medical treatment. Here we go. Here we go. They'll take you in.
That means every station in 2, 4, 5, and 7 have this on their TV.
This is an activation of the emergency broadcast system for a message concerning a toxic cloud situation. This is not a test. All participating stations should begin their EBS rebroadcast now.
Hurry, hurry. Wait, let me.
From the Office of Emergency Services with an advisory message for residents of Solano County, especially Benicia and Vallejo area. As you may be aware, a sulfur trioxide plume, gas plume, released in Richmond may possibly be headed to southern Solano County and may reach Vallejo or Benicia.
Joe went out and bought himself something yesterday. Did he really? Yeah, he was getting ready to come out here, and it was right around 4:30 when they were going to do something. Black on there, no one. Black on. How much line do you have on that sending line now? Black on 001, looks like about 250 feet. I mean, you know, you got a little cold right here, but at least most of your hands are warm and you're still able to operate your camera.
Hello, hello. Yeah, it is. Okay, 30 seconds, Mike. We just got word about a minute or two ago that the divers are calling it off for the night. They simply cannot see. It has gotten too cold and the tide is going out. So that is combined to lead the divers to say, we'll try it again tomorrow. Since the accident on Saturday, you've heard a lot about power lines and helicopter pilots and the problems that the lines cause for helicopters. Well, today we went up in a helicopter to get a first-hand look at the problem. Okay, do you know who I tossed to? So the plan now is to try again tomorrow morning, to try again to retrieve the body of Pat Walker and his wrecked craft. Let's go back to you in the studio.
Oh, they're different earrings?
I have 3 pair. One of them's lost in the car.
Okay.
One of them I only have one of.
Okay.
This one's broken and may fall off.
Okay.
Hey, it's not all glamour, right? And my socks don't match. No, actually, my socks do match. Oh, sock shop.
Oh, somebody talking to you back there? You're not going to do anything, right? You're going to stay right where wait till the crowd stops in the daytime. Think about death. No one gets to do it.
It's gonna be dark in what's
Turn off on the light a little bit.
Hello, Frank. It's been a long, hard, very difficult day for rescues here in the Carquinez Strait. Because of the strong and very cold currents here, divers were only able to make 2 dives all day long, and that was in between tides when the currents calmed down enough for them to jump in the water. It was finally after 4 o'clock when 3 of the 5 bodies were pulled from the back seat of the helicopter, which I'm told was lying on its side in about 70 feet of water. Now, the victims whose bodies have been recovered tonight have been identified as 44-year-old Greg Cook of Napa, 35-year-old Sonia Hamilton of Phoenicia, both environmental specialists with the Department of Fish and Game. Also, the body of 31-year-old Lieutenant Carl Johnson of the Coast Guard was also recovered. This has been described all day long as a very difficult operation, and as you said, Frank, it's not over yet.
Who knows? They never talked to us anymore, right, Ron? Yeah, there's an insert right now. They're pretty long with it. Figure it out.
The chopper itself will be pulled from the water, right, Carl?
Thank you, guys. Oh, you got a little...
Well, hypothermia.
I've been one of the few civilians aboard the Glomar Explorer up the way here.
Those divers right here, just going in.
Yes, I have.
Underway?
Huh? Not underway, but I couldn't hold it.
What's that?
We're just starting getting in that boat. Yeah. That'd be interesting. That is something else. See that bay that will open up like that and drop that gimbal mount with that system all the way down. One thing, the reason I'm mixing the decompression kit.
Guy, you sit right on them and ride
Hercules, yeah, they just sit there and spray that stuff on them.
As long as you're not grounded, they can't hurt you.
Oh, okay.
They turn the other big boat around.
Divers down here, they're just getting in this boat right there.
Are they?
2 of them. Yeah, there was 2, there might be more now.
What I'm going to have to do, they're drifting to your left.
My left or my right?
You're right. Take left a little light on it. But if they move up, they'll get shot. He's going to get the Coast Guard ball, boats into heck with the ball.
The ball is
neat material, really.
It's really small, too. It's embedded. We can't really see much of it. It's getting darker.
Are you there? Another choo-choo?
Yeah, another dibble.
Background.
One more movie.
They keep drifting back, so.
Those things have telephoto or zoom lens on.
Yeah.
Also make additional lenses. You can zoom bigger one, tighter.
Get
And then I go to one. I'm on two now.
What is the one?
You want to fight that one?
What's the? How do they rate it? Like this? Like camera lens?
Yeah.
We're gonna mean up to 200.
Quality? Yeah, it's better.
Oh, zoom wise?
It's.
Yeah.
It's probably. No, I think it's an 8-to-1 zoom.
Okay, I'll go to one and we fight that one. Now, since I'm not gonna. Okay, if I'm not gonna zoom, well, that changes it too. Does that change it?
Well, here they go.
One more time. One more fight that one.
All these guys that are only two
Okay,
guys
there it
can
is.
work, right?
Yeah.
It's like Hollywood here.
How's the hairpiece look, Paul? Where's you going to? It's a little ashy.
I know.
Our helicopters. We didn't think they would go in overnight, especially on such a dark and such a cold night. Water temperature is about 26 to 47 degrees, and it is quite dark in the water. But the rescue teams are determined to go back in when the tide moves again. That's possibly about 1:30 Sunday morning. Carolyn? Okay. Thank you. Good night. We're done. That was it. That's it. Hey, thanks.
Good job. Good job.
Now, while you were watching, you noticed that I stopped for a while. I stopped for about a minute, 20 seconds.
They were showing the pictures.
There was a tape insert from some of the interviews that I did earlier in the day. They showed that on the screen. And while that was playing, all I had to do was stand here.
Dana, you paid for that. Great job. Great job.
Can they get on TV?
Oh, but
yeah, just take a ride in a helicopter into the water and we'll put you right
Check in now with David Jinguji, who comes to us from KCBS Traffic Central to let us know how the Oakland Hills fire is affecting traffic this afternoon. David?
Rebecca, still have the same closures out there, Highway 24.
CBS News Time, 1:26.
In the skies over 2 oceans and 4 continents, there is a place where international business class is being redefined. Introducing Connoisseur Class. Refined wines, spirits, and award-winning cuisine.
And I'm just doing this one report so that you can see this fire is ferocious. And the fireman I just talked to said is jumping at 4-block bridges. It's going 4 blocks at a time. This fire is totally out of control. On Broadway Terrace, Bob Butler, KCBS News Radio.
KCBS News Time.
Staff has come up asking questions. We'll try and get that answered right now.
Not only where, if you can find out where other evacuation points may be.
Yeah, all right. One other question. Where can people go that will help out with this fire? There's an evacuation center set up. That's about what I can tell you at this time. People that want to fight the fire, where can they help? That situation's too fluid. It's too dangerous right now. Okay, too dangerous for just the average person. It's firefighters that are looking for the professionals. This is from the Assistant Oakland Fire Chief John Matthews, the worst he's ever seen, a conflagration, to quote him. John Hamilton from the Command Center at Broadway and Highway 24 for
for KGO.
Thank you, John. This fire started a little before noon today as flames reached about 100 feet. As you heard the assistant fire chief say, they believe hundreds of homes have been involved. There have been injuries. Officials at Alta Bates Herrick Hospital in Berkeley say they're treating 7 victims that started in the Oakland Hills. 2 admitted with burns. 5 are being treated in the emergency room for minor burns, scratches, and smoke inhalation. At Highland Hospital, 2 people are there, 1 for smoke inhalation, another for severe burns. And a spokesman for Kaiser Hospital in Oakland says the hospital's on yellow alert due to the emergency. However, no one has yet been treated there in connection with the fire. Now, as you heard John say, this is the largest fire in Oakland's history. We've got Russ Riera with us now. Russ, where do you think people should be going who are in that area? What road?
Go to Dave Padilla, who joins us now from one of the emergency evacuation centers in Berkeley. Dave?
That's right, Rebecca. I'm at the Willard Junior High School where they've set up an emergency evacuation center for all those who were displaced by this fire. And above right now, there's nothing but black smoke, as there has been for quite some time. And the people who are coming in, they've just arrived, a few dozen people right now. They've just arrived, some of them very disoriented, like this elderly man who is looking for his wife. I want to see if my wife has been here today. Any people get here yet? No, you're the first one here. Oh, yeah? My wife is obviously not. Nobody's in there, huh? No, well, now there are people coming in. Well, I want to see if she's here. We got separated in the fire. As you can tell, there's a lot of concern and a lot of emotion in his voice, and there's a lot of emotion and being expressed here right now. Some people are coming in. They're clearly upset. Many are in tears. Many do not feel like talking at this moment, and rightfully so. But anyone who needs any help who's...
Well, I'm below, we're actually Highway 13, which is the Warren Freeway, right below the Mormon Temple.
Make a call, hang up, and try again. Need help?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rich. Why don't you just go ahead and talk over that? Please tell me what you see.
Maybe that's symptomatic of the day's events. I see a lot of smoke. The smoke is getting a lot more pronounced, which would indicate that this is getting worse. I'm in an area where there's no danger, but I can oversee the entire area. It's the entire sky.
Rich, I'm afraid that we have to lose you. The interruption is just too extreme. If you're able to call us back, please do. We appreciate your help.
Will do.
We've gotten word that the Oakland Fire Department has requested KGO's helicopter and that it will be landing at Pier 32 in San Francisco, so don't let that alarm you. And we also have Susan Kennedy, 9-6. Here we go. Let's see if we can find her now. Susan, are you there? No, we don't have her. I hope you can understand that with all of the confusion going on behind the fire lines and the difficulties with power and telephones, that we may run into some of these problems. What we do know, Russ, you were talking about the area here, is that it's about a mile now from UC Berkeley.
Right.
And when we're talking about getting out quickly, what would you recommend, knowing the map as well as you do?
Well, taking I lost it. Claremont Avenue would be the best avenue to take out of there from that area there. Claremont or Alcatraz, one of those streets, I believe.
You know, we can get some help with from Metro traffic. I understand they're on the line now. Metro, are you there?
Yeah, we are in. Okay.
Well, Russ, that kind of meshes with what you've been talking about, doesn't it?
Right. There are, by the way, there are a lot of street signs.
Have any forestry tankers been able to come in?
I have seen 1 or 2 air tankers flying overhead, but I got to tell you, the smoke is so thick that it is probably extremely hazardous for those aircraft to be up in the area. People are driving in this area with their headlights on. That is just how thick the smoke is on this day that started out so clear with a blue sky and plenty of sunshine.
For those stations on the 49er network, this is KGO 810. KGO news time is 2:33.
And
I'm sorry, we seem to have gone back to the 49er network before they were ready to take us. And we still have, I believe we still have, John Bristow at the evacuation center in Oakland. John, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Very good. What do you have?
Well, an emergency shelter has been set up here at Willard Junior High School in Berkeley, at Telegraph and Durham.
Up in the hills on the east side of the Caldecott Tunnel. So if you take the Caldecott Tunnel, which everybody knows, and you draw a map, the way I'm looking at the map now, of about a 2.5 to 3 mile radius around that Caldecott Tunnel, you will have the area that is burning in almost like a circle. That's the way the streets are running that we're getting reports on.
And we have a report now that firefighters at the corner of Claremont and Ashby Avenues are reporting the fire that started this morning in the Oakland Hills may have reached a house 4 blocks from that intersection, Russ. A medical dispatcher at the scene says firefighters have received unconfirmed reports that 27 people may be trapped within that perimeter, and that perimeter runs from about Centennial Drive up behind the UC campus to Claremont Avenue. Now, there are a lot of people sightseeing in that area. We've been asked to please tell people to get out of that area. I know you can see the outlines of homes burning, but this is not the time for sightseeing. We've gotten reports of residents sawing down trees and wetting down their roofs, but unless you get out of the way of firefighters, this fire is not going to be put out anytime soon. As we've told you earlier, if you need to get to a shelter, Oakland Technical High School at 45th and Broadway. That's one place you can go. Another is the Claremont School. We do have reports that the Parkwood apartments above the Caldecott Tunnel are gone. 250 homes are going to be going. Have been reported to be gone. And we have Mike Isola up in the airplane to give us an eyewitness account. Mike? Hello, we keep talking. As we told you, there may be some glitches this afternoon in coverage here because of the difficulties of getting through to people. Mike Isola in the KGO airplane with a bird's eye view. Are you there, Mike? All right, well, we'll just keep trying to get a hold of Mike. Stand by, bear with us. Again, for those of you on the 49er network, as you know, we would probably be doing local news right now. Obviously, we have an emergency of large proportions in the San Francisco Bay Area. A wildfire that started in the Oakland Hills sometime before noon has grown to enormous proportions. It's a general alarm fire. There are units from San Francisco.
The flames are horizontal, it looks like, huh?
Yeah. There's also a great big, huge White House right behind those fires.
Oh my God.
Look at another great big huge
fires.
Oh no, there's dozens.
That's just the bright ones we can see.
There are a lot of fires. To the right of Carquinez, Boston.
It's raining now. Another one. 2 more.
And there's also some right behind the Claremont Hotel. It's getting bigger. The house behind the Claremont building.
Claremont is quite...
Oh my God! There's a frame house that just.
I could see 4 separate fires just to the right of the campanile.
Take a look. Very close now.
It says it's starting to get the houses too.
Roland Kristen in Illinois makes the lenses with the triplet lens. Most refractors, almost all refractors are triplets.
It's hot to keep those fires with on. Yeah, it's going down.
I got up this morning.
Bottom of the hill.
Yeah, at the very bottom of the hill.
just in front of the fire.
White thing, that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's even with the campanile, not just go straight across.
You know, I had a similar thing.
In fact, it's kind of
we were in
got the smoke
back.
back.
I heard on the radio that it was 10% humidity up in Mount Tan.
Oh, 10%.
And I said, you know, clear the park out because one spark and the whole place goes. And with this thing, you can see the studs.
Yeah.
2x4s and chimney crashing down.
Ja, det är det.
Can I take a peek?
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I love.
Fire real close to that mansion.
This thing, you can see the windows and the window frames and the 2x4s and everything. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See how it's getting close to that mansion?
Right next to it. It's like his front yard.
Coming over the hill now. Oh, and up.
Can you see the fire?
Yeah. It's going up the hill.
Yeah.
Oh. That's awful.
Something in there.
Oh, no.
Well, not quite.
What street do you live on? Oh, you'll be all right.
You're in blind. It's a long ways.
Light ways, all right.
Light ways.
But Derby, you know where Derby is? That's right next to the light. Lane. Okay, they're evacuating.
Behind it, but it's heading this direction.
What language is that?
What we're worried about is the plane that is becoming just, you know...
Oh, now there's one over there. See what those buildings that the tall in
The one thing I
Berkeley.
remember about Iceland,
They're right above there. See?
geography is that
That
there's
brown
more of a-
building with the white top
per
on
capita,
it. There's
there are
flames
more
right behind
tall
there.
writers in Iceland than any nation in the world.
I'm sure of that because they are almost every Icelander is sure that he can ride. Well, very many.
Write the book, you mean write the book?
Yeah.
Check that out. We better fix back the car.
37th Street, which is on the east side of where we're searching.
What's on that neighboring street?
47, have him go again. Citizen advised movement in the rear yard, 834, 37th, 834, 37th Street. 10-4. Which is on the east side of where we're searching.
What's on that neighboring street?
47, have him go again. Citizen advised movement in the rear yard, 834, 37th, 834, 37th Street. 10-4. 7, you got 2 more units that are mobile that can take 38. Any mobile unit advised? 24. 4. Yeah, I had a CNC in it with me. He just moved down to 38th and Garvin. Yeah.
Coming out again. Ooh.